Well, it's John Black, Super Chemist, JBSC. Where was I at? Oh, they have no shame. Like you ask them what a woman is, they're like, I don't know. It's a, or they'll give you the definition within the definition. Because a female and a woman is the same thing. I mean, a female. The only difference between the word female and male, female and woman is a human female. They're pretty much the same. You can't use your definite your word you're trying to just define in your definition, man. Because otherwise, people would be like, "What's a car?" And you'd be like, "It's a car." That's why you can't use that word "car" to describe what a car is. So, but I lost my train of thought again. So, anyways, the woke wants you to disbelieve or reality. Why do they want you to accept absurd lies? Like they're so absurd that you're like, what? This is like crazy, man. Because what what it is they're saying that men can have periods. Uh, Biological men can have periods as long as they're transsexual. Biological men can have cramps from periods. They can get pregnant. Okay, and you might say, no, they're talking about when a woman transitions into a man, she can still get pregnant. Yeah, they were at first. At first, that's what they were saying. First, they were saying that. Okay, then they went even further because they keep just moving more and more crazy and crazier and crazier. Then they moved to and uh, many transsexual women, which would be a man to female, uh, are online saying that they're getting periods, they get cramps, and Dylan Mulvaney, the biggest trans influencer on in the world, says that she could get pregnant. She's now bisexual, and so she's going to start dating women. And her dad asked if Mulvaney was going to get the girl pregnant, and Mulvaney said, "No, Dad, I'm going to be the one getting pregnant." And Mulvaney is born a male biologically, and I don't even think she's transsexual. I think she's just doing that. It's just a an act. You know what I mean? Because she wanted to get into a whole bunch of movies and plays and theatrics, that type of person. And when she couldn't do it, she started this Dylan Mulvaney thing, and it just caught on like fire, man, like that, like overnight. And so she just kept doing it because she loves the fame. She loves the. I can't blame her, you know. But why did they want you to believe that a biological man who was born a biological man can have a baby? Why do they want you to think that a a biological man, even if he does transition, even if he does have a female brain, what does that have to do with the rest of his body? The body is still male. Even if you have sex reassignment surgery, the body is still male because you have XY chromosomes. Okay? I'm going to get into why they want you to, because it's all about communism. That's why they want you to accept absurd lies that are just absurd. Come on, man. Like no, you'd think no one normal person would believe it. That's why it's a religion. Because that's anytime you have a religion, you have these. They're way out there, man. These ideas, they're just crazy. So, anyways, uh, went over that. So let's go on to the next thing here. The Christians, okay? Now the Christians. Uh, First of all, let me tell you a little bit about DNA. Now, I'm not a geneticist or anything like that, but DNA consists of two primary main things: junk DNA and machine DNA. Okay, and that machine DNA is the actual DNA that acts like a actual factory and literally manipulates itself with other chemicals to build something, to make something, a heart, a lung. So DNA is literally, I'm not saying metaphorically, I'm saying literally, it acts like a machine or a factory. Okay, literally grabbing chemicals, manipulating them, putting them together, and setting them back out. You know what I mean? Uh, then you got your junk DNA, and most of that DNA is switches. They switch on the factories. Because, like, let's say when you're being born and you're a fetus, right? Or you're being, in the womb, and you're going to start making your arm now, right? It's not just one factory that builds that arm. You got to turn on one factory to build the arm, part of it, then turn it off, turn on another factory, and then build some more, turn that off, switch on another factory, and then you get up to the hand, and then you switch on a whole bunch of different factories to make the hand, even more than the arm. Uh, so that's basically what that DNA is. It's just a whole bunch of machines and switches to turn on the various machines on and off. Okay, and if you like let's say you got a wing and a hand. See, most animals are made with the same machines. Okay, it's just the switches are switched on and off at different rates. Okay, and I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say you got an arm on a human, you got a wing on a bird, right? The machinery that turns on that starts making that wing and starts making that human arm is the same exact machine. And then it makes it out so much and it shuts it off, right? And then there's a new machine comes on. Then that, sooner or later, the machines are different, okay? But the first couple machines that start making the wing or the hand, and if you look at like a bat wing or something like that, you can see actually how it does look like a hand, and you know what I mean, and an arm. But it's the same machine. Not all the machines, because it takes multiple machines, but it's the same machines in the bird. Is the same way with the hand and the web hands, right? You got the same machineries in the duck making the web feet, and the machine turns on to make your hand. It makes the thing, turns off, starts on the fingers, and then instead of it being turned off in time again, it keeps going. And that machine if it keeps going, it makes web. You know what I mean? And so you have a mutation. Your switch. It wasn't that the machine was working perfect. It's just the switches wasn't working right. You know what I mean? And it kept the machine on either too much or too little, you know what I mean, to make a defect. Now, I think we can all agree with what I've said right now about DNA and mutations, okay? I think we can all agree on that. I don't know, but anyways. So what if the machine, machine in the DNA is the machine, what if it was stuck on when making the cord in the brain? Remember I was saying the cord connects the hemispheres in the brain. The thicker it is, the more female it is. You know what I mean? They got a thick cord and males have a thin cord, right? Well, what if, and remember how I said all babies all start out female. They all start out female. You're all the same. You all have the same whatevers. And then all of a sudden your chromosomes kick in and you're either female or male. Okay, it chooses at that point. I lost my train of thought. So Christians say that this mutation. Okay, we'll have to move on. Christians say this mutation is not possible. What mutation do they say is impossible? Now, even though all these mutations, we know that you can have one arm, you can have 0 arms, 2 arms, 3 arms, you can have a 1 heart, 2 hearts, you can have your heart outside of your body, your lungs outside of your body, you can have 1 lung, 2 lungs, 3 lungs, you can have 0 legs, 1 leg, 2 legs, 3 legs, 4 legs. You always have a spectrum of things, okay? Always. This is why I shouldn't smoke pot and do these videos. But anyways, I'll start at the beginning a little bit. So I told you about the junk DNA in the factories. What if the machine stuck open? Okay, the switch didn't flip. The DNA machine is making that cord going from one side to the other in the hemisphere, and it keeps making it. Now it's male, and it wants to stop because biologically this person is male. But the switch doesn't switch off, and it keeps building bigger and bigger and bigger until it's a female brain, and then it shuts off. Okay? Can anyone understand that? It's not complicated what I'm saying, right? Now, Christians say that all these mutations could happen. Every mutation can happen, okay? Except, I guess by magic, okay, the mutation, like you can have a mutation of legs, arms, heart, everything, they believe, right? You can have 2 arms, 3 arms, whatever. But when it comes to the brain, they say that no, it's not possible for a mutation to happen in the brain. The switches always switch on and off. There's never, ever a glitch, a mistake. Never, ever, 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 okay? And the reason why, I guess, and I have to just guess, because God comes down and he uses his magic and he says, abracadabra. See, that's it. They can't prove what they believe without using God to say God came in. Well, I could say, I could say a bunch of crap too if I could say, well, God came in and, that's why it's different. No, you can't use magic to use, you know what I mean? And the other thing they says is, if God does not make mistakes, the other thing they say is that God only makes man and woman. It says clearly in the Bible, man makes man and woman. That's what God makes, okay? Well, if that's true, then, and the woman has X sex and the man has XY. It doesn't say that in the Bible, but we Christians believe, we know that. Everyone knows that, come on. Except for the woke, I guess. So my point is what are the intersex? The intersex are the people that have XXY chromosomes. They are neither man or woman. They are a third sex. I mean, it's very rare, but they're a third sex, okay, or a mistake, a mutation is what it is. You know what I mean? It's not really a third sex because there's not enough people to be a third sex, but you can consider it that. It's no big deal. Either way, who cares? But it is a mutation. My whole point is if God doesn't make mistakes, then why is there intersex people? If he only makes women and men, how did these people have XXY chromosomes? How do they have half a dick and they have a pussy? How did that happen? If God doesn't make mistakes, right? He comes down and makes sure that these kind of things don't happen. Then why did they happen? Why did they do it? And we know about it. We know that there's XXY chromosomes and other variations of the intersexed. We know they have both genitalia or parts of both genitalia. It's like they have traits from both whatevers. Even down to their chromosomes, they have traits from both genders. You know what I mean? From both sexes. So if God doesn't make it, that's a lie. That's an outright lie, okay? First of all, the one thing is that they, at least it's plausible that there's a spectrum.